Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. One of the important things to put your focus on when you are manifesting the results of the Dasha is the question which begs more analysis is what is the role of the Nakshatra Lord in which the planet is placed whose Dasha is on. So, say for example, if the Dasha of Sun is on and if Sun is placed in a certain sign, say for example in Aries where it gets exalted, and in the Nakshatra of Ashwini, the first Nakshatra of Aries, then how much does the ruler of Ashwini, the Nakshatra Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, so the ruler of Nakshatra Ashwini, which is Ketu, because Sun is placed in it, how much does it manifest or play its part during the Dasha of Sun, and what kind of results are expected basis Ketu's involvement if it is during the Dasha of Sun, because this is an important question. If the Dasha of a planet is on and if it's placed in a certain Nakshatra and the Nakshatra has its own manifestation, does the Lord of the Nakshatra play any role? So obviously if you are teaming with another country to wage a war against the third country, then the leader of the country with whom you are allying with will definitely play a part, won't it? So the ruler of the Nakshatra will surely play a part when the Dasha of a planet placed in it is on. Let's say how are we looking at these results and how do they manifest. So let's keep it simple and let's start with the Dasha of say Moon, because Moon is the mind planet and it is the most important planet in the horoscope, because it is the Manas, it gives you the energy to think, to decide and decide what actions you are going to take, and without your mind and taking actions on that, you will be a robo, you will not be able to take decisions. So the Moon being the most important planet in the horoscope, let's take the example of Moon, and Moon also rules the fourth house, the chest area where the heart is also placed. So your emotions are also involved, your mind is also thinking. Of course, it is aided by Jupiter and Mercury. However, the final decision has to be taken by Moon, which may seek the help of the analytical ability of Mercury and the wisdom given to it by Jupiter. But the final choice that we make is through the mind. And so let's take, and that's why it's the most important planet. So let's take its example. Now, what is a sign made of? While each sign has 30 degrees, each sign has a nakshatra which is completely placed in it. Sometimes two nakshatras may be placed in a sign if there is no overlap. So a zodiac has 360 degrees. Each degree is made of 60 minutes. Now these 360 degrees are made up of 27 nakshatras. Each nakshatra is fairly 13 degrees and 20 minutes each. So each sign being 30 degrees, if a nakshatra is 13 degrees 20 minutes, then two nakshatras are 26 degrees and 40 minutes, which can easily fit into each sign. And so generally most of the signs will have two nakshatras, and some will have the overlap of one nakshatra will definitely be in the sign, but there may be overlap of the last part of one nakshatra and the beginning part of another nakshatra, for example. So that may also happen, but fairly that's how the placement is. Each sign can occupy definitely two nakshatras and one pada of the next nakshatra. So Aries starts off with the Ashwini nakshatra, which is of 13 degrees and 20 minutes, and Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. Next nakshatra which lies within Aries is the nakshatra of Bharani. Bharani nakshatra is ruled by Venus, and the last part of Aries sign has the first part of the next nakshatra, which is Krittika. So the first pada of Krittika lies in Ashwini, but the next 3 padas of Krittika go into Taurus. And then the 4th nakshatra is the within Taurus. So Krittika 3 padas are in Taurus, and then the 4th nakshatra, which is Rohini, also falls in Taurus. Now while the first nakshatra Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, the next nakshatra, which is Bharani, is ruled by Venus. Third nakshatra Krittika is ruled by the Sun, and the 4th nakshatra Rohini is ruled by the Moon itself. Now, so each nakshatra has a different lord. What is the result of Moon in each of the nakshatras? So, in one's horoscope, if a person's horoscope Moon is in the Ashwini nakshatra, then what are the results during the Dasha of the Moon? Now, if it's Ashwini nakshatra in Aries, obviously it will also have Aries energy. Aries energy is a very fiery energy, the go-getting spirit, rushing into dangers, rushing into actions many times without thinking. Now, rushing into dangers without thinking itself is a challenge. And if it is Ketu, where you are rushing into dangers without thinking, sometimes the results can be not, which can be without, the capacity to think is completely reduced and you are not able to take decisions. That's what Moon in Ketu nakshatra, which is Ashwini, may give. On the other hand, Sun is exalted in Ashwini nakshatra. But why does Sun get exalted in Ashwini nakshatra, which is ruled by Ketu? Sun represents your ego, your pride, and Sun gets exalted in Aries because Sun is able to take decisions without overcoming, without overdoing its pride, without becoming arrogant. So Sun is able to take decisions, the soul is able to take decisions or take you on the path in life while it is placed in Ashwini without over ego, without too much arrogance. If it's at 10 degrees in the Ashwini nakshatra, it may also give you the capacity to have a lot of brilliance because of Sun manifesting its complete energy without allowing arrogance to play a part. Many think that Sun in Aries will give you arrogance because it's exalted. It's the other way around. Sun gives you brilliance. Sun gives you high energy to perform because the energy of Mars represented by Aries and the Sun's energy come together. But with Ketu, it also brings a lot of spiritual dimension where the person wants to do beyond himself. Ketu is a planet of negation. Ketu wants you to do things for others and not for self. Wherever you try to do things for self, whenever you don't give up the need for self, there Ketu will play its part. Wherever you are doing for others, Ketu will support you, because Ketu means a dhwaja, which you have already, the flag, which you have already planted and conquered in the last life. So in this life, Ketu, wherever it is placed, the results are not for you but to work for others, to work for humanity. So Sun in the nakshatra of Ashwini, ruled by Ketu, will give you the brilliance and to do things much beyond yourself at much bigger level, much vaster level. So usually Sun in Ashwini, a person will have bright ideas, bigger ideas, much beyond himself, and hence because the soul is thinking of not itself but beyond itself, Sun is exalted in Ashwini, and Ketu, the planet of negation, absorbs the main area of manifestation for Sun, which is a hindrance, which is your pride and ego, and you work without pride, without ego, and Sun's brilliance works towards larger goals in life. On the other hand, Moon being in Ashwini means that here you are taking a decision. Sun is the soul. You are taking a decision without pride, which is a good thing. But here Moon being the thinking planet, here you are doing the decision, or you are rushing into dangers without thinking, and that's the danger. And without thinking, if you rush into dangers, Ketu is the negation of the ability of thinking. You can fall flat, and that's why the difference of Moon in Ashwini is different from when Moon gets into Bharani, the nakshatra, which is the second nakshatra, which lies within Aries. Now when Moon gets into Bharani, which is ruled by Venus, and the structure of the Bharani is that of the yoni or the female vagina. What happens is the moon now has a lot of feminine attractions. The mind is moving more towards the material side of life, and because it is also yoni, the inclination of Venus, the person may also have a more softer side towards the matters of intimacy, towards the matters of materialism, because intimacy is also a part of materialism. You moving towards the indulgence in sex, in satisfying the carnal desires, as more materialistic rather than at a spiritual level. Though there are other spiritual manifestations to it also, but at the base level, it is more materialistic. So now the mind is materialistic, it is moving towards materialism. But Venus being the lord of Bharani, the materialism means that the mind moving towards materialistic things, pursuing materialistic things, wanting better things, luxurious things, you will then not look at the values and principles sometimes in life, and so many times the thinking is, the decision making is more towards the materialistic sides, and many times the relationships suffer. And because relationships suffer and you are not able to look at it in a balanced emotion, you are too emotional towards certain things and you are completely cold towards other things. So you are too emotional and needing and greedy towards materialistic things, and you are too cold towards relationships and how relationships play out and how you should behave in a relationship. Then what is the third nakshatra? The third nakshatra is the nakshatra of Krittika. The last part of Aries sign has the first pada of Krittika, and the next three padas of Krittika lie in Taurus. Now, who rules Krittika? Krittika is ruled by Sun, and it represents the razor or the blade with which you cut. Very sharp object. So the mind develops the cutting edge of sharpness. The mind is very sharp, and that's why moon at 3 degrees of Krittika gets exalted in the sign of Taurus. And so when sharpness is given to you by virtue of being in the nakshatra of the sun, and the brilliance, the mind is able to be able to act with cutting precision and with brilliance. The mind is at its most brilliant, best part of decision making when it is at the 3 degrees in Krittika nakshatra ruled by sun. So the soul represented by the sun and the mind represented by the moon both come together. So when the soul and your mind both work together with the sharpness of a razor and the brilliance of a sun, obviously you get the best results. And that is the part that sun plays when moon is placed in the nakshatra of Krittika. Now if moon goes into the fourth nakshatra, the fourth nakshatra also in Taurus is the nakshatra of Rohini. But Rohini is ruled by moon itself, and it is supposed to be one of the better opulence bringing and prosperity bringing nakshatras as well. Now what happens when moon goes into the nakshatra of Rohini is that there is more softness. So while there is materialistic pursuit, because moon is still in Taurus, but it is not at the either in Bharani, which gives it complete materialistic pursuits, or in Krittika which manifests sharpness. It is in Taurus, the second nakshatra of Taurus, in Rohini, but ruled by moon. So now it is moving away from the brilliance of the sun into the emotional softness of the moon. So here the person becomes more giving, the person becomes more caring, the person is more empathetic, the person is more understanding, but the person also becomes more emotional. So a lot of people whose moon is in Rohini will be caring and supporting, but may also be more emotional and be more giving, and sometimes they give more than what is needed and they go overboard in giving. But sometimes if there is an aspect of any malefic also, they may also while giving they may also be expecting, and if the expectations is not manifested, then they become very emotional. So they do a lot They are very caring and supportive and giving, but when they don't get back, then they feel hurt. So it is not about getting materialism back, but they still expect at least gratitude and somebody being thankful. But the nature of moon, the mother, is not about expecting even gratitude. The mother doesn't expect thanks from the child. The mother gives without expectation. The mother will give even when the child is completely against the mother, may abuse the mother, may mistreat the mother, mother will still give. That is the nature of mother. That is the moon. So in Rohini, over emotionality, expecting the person to be grateful and being too soft and too emotional also plays its part. The other side is when moon gets debilitated. Now where does the moon get debilitated? Moon gets debilitated in the sign of Scorpio and at 3 degrees in Scorpio. Now where does 3 degrees in Scorpio fall? 3 degrees in Scorpio falls in the nakshatra of Vishakha. Who rules Vishakha? Jupiter rules Vishakha. Now on paper you will say moon and Jupiter should be a great combination. It's a Gajakesari combination. So if moon goes in the nakshatra of Vishakha ruled by Jupiter, and if the Nakshatra Lord is Jupiter, then why should it be debilitated? Why should moon give its debilitation results? Firstly, which sign does Vishakha Nakshatra fall? It falls in Scorpio. So the overlying energy is the Scorpio energy. Just like the overlying energy when a planet goes into Ashwini is the Aries energy, because Aries is the sign in which Ashwini Nakshatra is. So similarly, moon going into Scorpio in whatever nakshatra, first overlying the foundational energy is of Scorpio, is of being in darkness, being in all areas of mystery, where you don't have enough data, you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough wisdom to act. You are in deep waters, you are in calm waters, but not flowing waters, you are in stagnant waters, but deep down where darkness is there, you are suffocated, you are not able to think clearly. So how does Jupiter act without wisdom? Jupiter needs data to act. So while Jupiter rules Vishakha, if it does not get the support of a good house or another good aspect, Jupiter itself doesn't do very well in Vishakha if it gets into the 8th house in Scorpio. So if it's an Aries ascendant native and Jupiter itself goes in Vishakha nakshatra, its own nakshatra which it rules, in the 8th house in Scorpio, you may not get great results. You may get some balance of results, because Jupiter in the darkness will also have some power to manifest and still be able to give you some dosage of wisdom. However, it is still the Scorpio sign, it is still the 8th house energies, so there will be challenges. So moon going into the 3 degrees of Scorpio in the nakshatra of Vishakha will face challenges, because while Jupiter is the nakshatra lord, it cannot give complete support of wisdom and knowledge to moon, and so the mind needs information to act. The mind needs wisdom of Jupiter and the analytical ability of Mercury to act. And so moon gets debilitated in Vishakha, though ruled by Jupiter, because Jupiter is not able to give the mind the wisdom. However, if for example here Rahu gets into Scorpio, now what is Rahu? Rahu does not want wisdom. Rahu wants to see opportunity and it will strike. So Rahu does better in the 8th house in Vishakha than any other planet. So Rahu will use, rather than wisdom, Rahu will use the expansion giving ability of Jupiter to manifest itself. So Rahu will use the expansion giving ability and use the darkness. Rahu wants to put wool over somebody's eyes, the smoke screen over somebody's eyes. So Rahu will use the dark energies of Scorpio and use that energy to put wool over the eyes of somebody else, use that opportunity to hoodwink, use that opportunity to even cheat, or use that opportunity to manipulate, to be diplomatic and make its work done. So it's different planets in different signs which will manifest. If moon goes into Scorpio and the Dasha moon is on, while it is at 3 degrees in Vishakha, though ruled by Jupiter, different results will come by, than any other planet which goes into Scorpio, because moon gets debilitated in Scorpio in Vishakha, not any other planet. Some planets will do very well. Saturn, when it goes into Vishakha Nakshatra in Scorpio, will do much better, because Saturn will give you a lot of stability. Saturn will slow down the thinking process. Saturn will slow down the decision making, will give you more time to act, will give you the steadiness. Saturn will tell you, okay, even if you are in darkness, you follow rules and regulations. You cannot escape Saturn's rules and regulations, the discipline, the loyalty, the commitment. And Saturn is, that's why it is the Karaka of the 8th house, because Scorpio energies and Vishakha energies. Saturn will also bring you some challenges and some upheavals because of the slowdown. So during upheavals, you can't be really slow. You need to act, and that's why, well, Saturn is the Karaka. Saturn will eventually help you to come out of that of the situation. But initial troubles will definitely be there if Saturn also gets into the Vishakha Nakshatra ruled by Jupiter. So each planet during its Dasha, based on what Nakshatra Lord is, will definitely be affected. The job of a native is, whenever the Dasha of a planet is coming onto him, a few months or maybe many months, maybe 5 to 6 months before the Dasha is on, understand the nature of the planet. If it's the moon, understand the nature of the moon, the thinking ability, the emotional ability, the caring, the supporting energy, but also manifesting the energies of the 4th house of comfort and to give. Then see in which sign moon is placed in and what are the energies of the sign. Then look at what is the energy of the nakshatra it is placed in what pada it is, and also take into account the Nakshatra Lord, because eventually the two things most important, the two entities which will come together to manifest results will be the planet whose Dasha is on and the Nakshatra Lord, because the planet is placed in that. So these two come as allies to work together. So it's important that you do take into account the Nakshatra Lord, because the energy, overall manifestation of the Dasha of the planet, how the planet will act, will come from the energy giving or supply to it by the Nakshatra Lord. If the Nakshatra Lord is giving it wisdom, if Jupiter's Nakshatra is on, Jupiter rules the Nakshatra, then you will act with more wisdom. If the Nakshatra is that of Venus, like we talked about Bharani, then you will act with more materialistic pursuits. If the Dasha of the same planet is on, so the same planet Dasha, based on the Nakshatra that it is, the manifestation will be different, the approach of the person will be different, the thinking of the person will be different, and hence the action of the person will be different. So understand the Nakshatra Lord's energies and combining the energies of the planet whose Dasha is on and the energies of the Nakshatra Lord is on, then decide for yourself, because that combination will eventually bring out the results during the Dasha. So friends, right now whatever Dasha you are in, look at the Dasha of the planet you are in and what Nakshatra you are placed in and the Lord of the Nakshatra, and you will be able to relate the energies of the Dasha, the placement of what house the planet is, what sign it is, and eventually the Lord of the Nakshatra. So friends, please like this video, please share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. And till some other time, with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide signing off. Ciao.